Hello, friends, YouTube friends and subscribers, and fellow booktubers. First, I want to start this video off with a question, and that is, do you guys, well, mostly do you guys, you booktubers, want to see me do a totally just book-related channel? But it's for my subscribers too, but anyways, do you guys want to see me make another channel just for books and keep this one for music, current events, and Bible studies / lessons? Or do you just want me to keep the channel as is? And anyway, so today I'm going to be... I haven't read either of these books, but today I'll be talking about Jane Eyre and Jane Still, which I just got this one today. As you can see, it was only $5.97 at Walmart. And again, it's called Jane Still. And it is about... Oh, let me first go into detail about Jane Eyre, which probably a lot of you have already read, which I'm behind. Anyway, I borrowed this book for my 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade English teacher. And I know I still haven't given it back, which is wrong. I'm not going to keep it forever. Anyways, so Jane Eyre is about a heroine who is a governess, a orphan, penniless and plain, but full of courage and spirit. Though she is a brooding, melancholy figure, a stranger given to rough outbursts of temper, they are the central characters in Charlotte Bronte's. Oh, the hero is a brooding, melancholy figure, a stranger given to rough outbursts of temper. There are the central characters in Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, a stormy, intense, and introspective novel which probed the psychology of passion and revolutionized the scope of romantic fiction. And then apparently this one has an afterword by Arthur Zeiger. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And this is the Signet Classics edition of Jane Eyre. And again, I borrowed this from my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade English teacher. And I hope to give it back to her soon. So this will probably be my next read, since I just finished so far probably my favorite book of all, not of all time, but at least that I read this year so far, which is Stalking Jack the Ripper, which leads me into Jane Still, because as you guys know, if you've ever heard of Jack the Ripper, he was a serial killer, which Jane Still, even though Jane Still is a reimagining of Jane Eyre, In this, the character of Jane is a serial killer, which is a good segue from talking about Jack the Ripper, since he was actually a real life serial killer. But in this book called Stalking Jack the Ripper, of course, he's just a character, even though he was a real person in real life. And it's trying to figure out who he is and how he did what he did. The character of Jack the Ripper, not the real one. But anyways, again, this is called Jane Still. She is a... Let me read from the cover flap. A reimagining of Jane Eyre as a gutsy, heroic serial killer. From the author whose work the New York Times describes as riveting and the Wall Street Journal called thrilling. And then the first little, not really a paragraph, but first little saying under that, it says, "Reader, I murdered him." So begins Lindsay Frey's Jane Still. So I hope to get to this soon. But as I said before, I'm going to start with Jane Eyre, since this is a reimagining of Jane Eyre. So I can kind of get the view of how Jane Eyre is as a character. So then I can kind of compare the character of Jane Eyre to the character of Jane Still. So I'll read this one first and get back to you guys on what I think about it, and then I'll read Jane Still and do the same thing. And as I said before, I just got this brand new today, 80% off of the regular publisher suggested price of $27, and I got it for $5.97 at Walmart, which I don't think most Walmart would have this right now, so you might actually want to try and go on try and get it from maybe Amazon or Book Depository if you don't have it yet. And again, with this one, I borrowed it from my English teacher from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, so I have to read this soon so I can give it back to her. But I'll read this first, then Jane Still. And actually, I do not know what what country this cover is from. So if any of you who have this book can tell me what country this cover is from. I believe it's the U.S. since I live in the U.S., but it might not be the U.S. cover. So yeah. So if any of you guys who have Jane Still can tell me if this cover is the American one, that would be nice, because I think it is, and I want to give you guys the right information if you want to get this book. And like I said before, about 3 times now, I borrowed this from my 10th, 11th, and 12th grade English teacher. I haven't read it yet. I need to so I can give it back to her. So Jane Eyre would be the first one I'll read, and then Jane Still, so I can compare the character of Jane Eyre and Jane Still. Then I'll get back to you with a review of both of them on what I think of them, since there's already, I'm not sure if too many people review this one, since it is kind of a classic, so I'm not sure if I should review this one. So also comment down below if you'd like to see a review of this, or if I shouldn't do a review of this one, Jane Eyre. And I'll for sure do a review of Jane Still, since it's not really a classic as of yet. This could be a modern classic. So yes, Jane Still and Jane Eyre. And that's my video for today. So share your thoughts below in the comments. Also give me some suggestions of videos you guys want to see, whether they be book related or covers of songs or about recent events or historical events even. And and of course Bible studies or lessons. From any of those things, whatever you guys want to see, comment down below and give me feedback on if you guys want to see a review of Jane Eyre, because I know it's a classic, so most people probably have already read it, so probably doesn't need a review. But for sure I will. For sure will review Jane Still once I read it. Which, before I read Jane Still again, I'll have to read Jane Eyre, because I want to compare the two characters. So, again, comment down below, comment suggestions, comment if I should do a review of Jane Eyre or not, because I think the first video I'll do is comparing Jane Eyre and Jane Still, the characters, after reading both. And then I'll do, for sure, the review of Jane Still. But comment down below if you think there should be a review of Jane Eyre. And that's all. So see you guys next time. And I have posted 3 other videos today, so if you guys like song covers, go watch those 3. And goodbye.